Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Mark. Mark is from Cambridge in England, in the UK. So let's see what Mark has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Mark, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, William?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
No problem.
Tell me, how's your sunny day has been going so far?
It's amazing. I started the day with a 2 hour dog walk, and I have a greyhound, so quite a fast dog, and I've got a Kelpie, which isn't as fast. And I let the greyhound off lead, and he went into a forest and then
Wow.
got lost. He got lost and decided to go home. So I was searching for him for about an hour.
Oh my God.
And someone had found him and he tried to make his way home. Someone had found him and posted on our village community board that they'd
Oh,
found him. So yeah,
oh.
bit of a dog crisis. So I can't really let him off the lead, but I thought I was miles away in the middle of a forest. Surely he'll be fine, but no.
Sweet. Have you
Uh,
forgiven him already?
I forgave him immediately.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Amazing. So tell me, Mark, where are you from?
I grew up in Cambridge in the UK, which is I don't know, about 60, 70 miles from London. A university town, very much like Oxford. Um, so, yeah, it was a beautiful place to grow up. Ancient buildings, very educational.
So tell me, what did you like the most about living in Cambridge?
Leaving,
Yeah.
I haven't left Cambridge.
No, living there. What
Oh,
did you like?
living. Sorry, I thought you said leaving Cambridge. My mistake. What do I like most about living in Cambridge? Well, I've already mentioned the beautiful buildings, the old buildings, the architecture. I think I'll always come back to that. It started originally in the 1300s, Cambridge, and back then it was just a little bridge over the River Cam. So it was called Cam Bridge. As people moved to the area, they adopted the name for the town. And so a lot of the buildings, say, started in the 1300s, a lot through the 1400s and 1500s are still there. My
Wow.
house, my house actually, if you can see there's beams above me. This house was built in the 1500s itself. So
Oh,
I, I'm quite a modern guy, but I do love history as well. Especially in architecture, I love an old house that I can do up. So I think what I like most about Cambridge is the ability to be near these buildings, to improve the buildings, try and in keep with the charm and the time they were built. So I'm doing this house up at the moment, and this house actually was my childhood home.
wow.
When I was 8 years old, I lived here for a few years. And then recently I saw it on the market, and me and my partner decided to buy it.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that you somehow it touched your heart.
Circle of life, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I think you meant to be there. For some reason, you meant to
Yeah,
go back to your roots for sure.
absolutely. It feels that way to me. Um, Very nostalgic.
Amazing. Mark, let's start the interview talking about your career as an artist, as an actor. So tell me how everything started.
How did it start? Okay, school, which is the same
Uh-huh.
for most people. So when I was at school, I did a show called Guys and Dolls.
Okay.
Great musical, and I played a great role in that. Also, at the same time, I was doing a show called A Christmas Carol, which is also a musical, and I was playing Bob Cratchit in that. I wasn't Scrooge. I was playing Bob Cratchit, and so I thought I must have been about 13 years old, and I thought at that time, oh, this is something I want to do. So I thought I'm going to be a musical theatre actor. Um, and so I did a lot more musicals, but actually I didn't go that way. I decided to be at some point in my early 20s. I focused on drama, serious drama, maybe comedy as well, and I moved away from musical theatre. But then in recent years, I've gone back to musical theatre. I've just done a musical off Broadway, which I
Oh,
wrote and starred in. That was really successful. So I'm thinking maybe I'm still a musical theatre actor at heart. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see how things go. But the way it started is I did that in school. I thought musical theatre is what I want to do. So I went through my GCSEs, then I went on to college, then I went to university to study BA honours in acting, and I got my first agent, Sylvia Young, when I was 19 years old. And
Wow.
Sylvia Young started me on my first auditions professionally, and yeah, took it from there.
Amazing. Okay, Mark, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey, okay?
Yeah.
But before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I always ask my guests on the show to bring something that means a lot to them. Could be an object, could be a picture, could be anything that's for them means a lot. There's something that you could share?
Yeah. Can you pause it? I left it in the other room.
Sure, of course. I can always
Just pause it and I'll be back in 2 seconds. Hi, I'm back, William.
All right. So tell me, what have you got for us to see?
Right. So this I've had for many, many years, and I'm a big believer in fate and chance and destiny and karma and serendipity and all of those wonderful things. As an actor, I think that's important to embrace, because we live such a precarious life of hope and chance and need and want and desire. And so I have this coin, and at risk of coming across as Two-Face out of Batman, this coin has yes or no written on it. Yes and no.
Wow.
And if I'm in a particular dilemma where my normal scrutiny cannot find the solution, I am, rather than my OCD forcing me to roll over in my head, I will often ask it the question and just act on what it says. So it's probably not a good idea to do that if it's a life or death situation.
No.
When it's something to just ease your mind or stop you from worrying about something, I will often ask it the existential question of, should I do this? Should I do that? Is this the right thing? Is that the right thing to do? And let fate decide.
I love that. Let me ask you, when I invited you for the show, did you do that to see if you want to participate or not?
No, I knew right away. I've actually seen you a couple of times come down my Instagram thing, and I thought, oh, that looks interesting. So I've had a little bit of a listen to a couple of your shows. And so when you suddenly asked me out of the blue, I was like, yeah, I'm up for that.
Oh, sweet. I'm sure your coin, this, you know what? I'm sure he's going to do it. Doesn't need to go through me.
Shall we ask it?
No. I'm saying, no, because I said, what I mentioned is when I approached you, when you felt the energy, that, okay, let's do it. Your coin let you do it without you think about it.
Without me even consulting.
Yes.
I'm sure if I consulted it now, it would agree and it would say yes, but we will leave that.
Yeah, just in case.
So yeah, that's something. And when you asked me to bring something like that, there's a number of things. Like there are certain books that I've always had with me and things. So I was quite torn, but I guess this is probably one of the more important objects and certainly one of the more intriguing.
It's very unique, and I like that. It's very unique, and I love that. I love that you brought something that somehow is part of your daily base or some routine or something that you use it. I love it. It's amazing. Mark, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of view?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Wow. So I have here my best friend. Wonderful questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Let's do it. Right, so before I start the interview, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can take another one, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Amazing. Okay, first question is, tell us about one of the kindest situation you ever witnessed in your life.
Kindest?
Yeah, one of the kindest situation you've witnessed in your life.
Wow. Oh, yeah, I think this one's a good one. So my partner is a woman called Michelle Plevin, and she's actually, we run a production house now, so film, theatre, radio, TV. And so she's my partner in business also. And we were in New York earlier this year and the end of last year doing the show off Broadway called Always Young, the musical I mentioned.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were getting the subway train. Where were we? We were probably on the outskirts, or maybe we were Brooklyn coming in, and we were trying to get into Times Square where we were staying. We were staying in a hotel in Times Square. So say we were around Brooklyn, one of those stations, and all of a sudden we heard this shouting, and there was a man on the tracks of the train, and he was stuck like on the tracks, and there was another guy with him shouting, help, help, blah, blah, blah. So we ran down to the tracks, and I could see immediately the problem. He was sat on the tracks, and I think he was incapacitated through alcohol. So he was very drunk, and he was on the tracks and he couldn't stand up, but also he was covered in blood. So in a situation like that, you're not going to want to just grab hold of him and cover yourself in blood, but by the same, you've still got to do something. You want to get him out. So I ran to the security, and as soon as I got the security, they were all running down the tracks. But in the meantime, my partner, Michelle, had jumped down to the tracks, pulled him off them, and pulled him up onto the platform.
Oh my God.
And everyone was like, what?
Wow.
And she's a nurse, and she was administering to him first aid. Not really the kindest thing, just one of the bravest and most decent things I've ever seen. Because even me, I consider myself a decent guy. I ran for security. I did not want to jump down there, pick him up and carry him off the tracks, which would have been very heroic, but could have been very dangerous, and it could have been life-threatening for me. But she just did it.
Wow. I got goosebumps now saying the story. What a beautiful moment. Oh my God.
And what a fantastic being to put herself completely out of the picture and just do the right thing.
Wow. Tell me, how did your path cross for the first time with your partner, with Michelle, if you can share?
I can share. And no one ever says this, but it was online dating. Everyone lies and says, oh, we met at the library, or let's just say we were out for a meal and we bumped into each other. No, we met on online dating.
Sweet. I love it.
And we got on really, really well, and we had a date immediately, and then we were drinking and chatting and normal social things. But at that time, we lived in completely different cities to each other, so we never would have met. So wow. Again, fate can sometimes move in mysterious ways.
Totally. And so far, what has been the most meaningful lesson we learned from her?
From her?
Yeah, besides her bravery that she, easily showed that.
I'm gonna be very personal here, and I think I owe it to the masses to share these little bits of wisdom whenever they come up. But when I first met Michelle, I was drinking quite heavily. I'd struggled with alcohol. I'd been to a couple of AA meetings, and it wasn't until Michelle came into my life about 10 years ago. She really put some structure to how to commit to not drinking. And for the last 10 years, on and off, I've been in a sobrietous way, and my life has really changed. So I would have to say that's the biggest thing she's done for me. And what a great thing to do, to have someone to help you out of that hole and pull you out of it. So yeah, I'd say that's the single biggest thing she's done, and single biggest impact on my life, and made it amazing for the last 10 years.
Wow. Okay, so Michelle is watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What would you say? She's watching.
Well, if I have to send Michelle a message, thanks for everything. And I hope that you are grateful for the things I've done for you too.
Oh. I'm sure she is. I'm sure it's.
I'm joking.
Oh, I know. She wouldn't be in a place that she's right now if it wouldn't be, you know what I mean, somehow collaborating as well with the relationship.
Yeah, I think we both changed each other. We both changed each other's lives for the better. Her for my health, and as I said, she's a nurse for maybe 20 years. So. Wow. She had never considered a life in the arts or being a producer. And for the last 5 years, she's been running a production house. So she loves it.
Wow, beautiful. Send my regards, okay?
I will.
Next question. Ok, Okay, next question for you is, what's your favorite weekend activity?
Well, I actually think nowadays it's dog walking.
Hmm.
I Especially in the summer. Find myself, because I've got more time at the weekends. I take them out for like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
I live in the countryside in Cambridgeshire, so there is loads of places to go. And I guess I just love walking through small villages and letting the dogs off the lead in fields, things like that. And
Until they get lost, until they get
until they
lost.
get lost, until they get so. But yeah, and then also I'd like to say spending time with my family now. It
Hmm.
never interested me when I was in my 20s or my 30s, but now as I'm getting older, I really embrace being around my family, around my mum, around my brother,
Wow.
and my sisters. It's just great. So, and also Michelle, getting to know them and being part of their life, because Michelle's lost both her parents. So my parents have kind of adopted her as a daughter,
Wow.
and it's all about spending time with each other.
What's the biggest joy of being Mark? What do you like the most about being you?
Every morning I wake up and thank the Lord for me. No,
Oh.
the biggest joy is I don't take things too seriously,
Mhm.
and I like to have fun. So I know that when I wake up in the morning, that today might not be the most proactive day. It might not
Mhm.
be the biggest day for making money, but I will always try to enjoy myself. I will go out of my way to do the things that please me. I think I've earned the right to do that at my age. So I don't dread every day. I try to find something that I enjoy to do, to look forward to, and that keeps me upbeat.
And what should be the title of your memoir one day?
The memoir. Let's think. I told you I was right would be a good one.
Really?
I told you I was right.
You
I
made you
do say that. I do say that a lot. Like if I'm proved right in a situation, and don't get me wrong, there's probably many times that I'm proved wrong. But whenever something comes true that I said would happen, I do say, I told you, I said that," and I'm quick to say it. So I guess that's what someone else would title my autobiography or memoir.
It's interesting. You made me remember a situation. Back in Brazil, I was watching this comedy show, and the gentleman said, one of the characters said, there was just one time in my life I was wrong. And the other asked why. When I thought that I was wrong, because he was always right.
Yeah, yeah. It comes across as conceit, but
I
I don't
mean,
know.
what's your star sign or astrology, Mark?
Pisces,
Oh my God, you're March then. March, April? March.
March the 3rd.
My mom is March the 9th. Yeah,
Oh, lovely.
amazing.
That's great. I like fellow Pisces. A lot of my friends are Pisces. A lot of people who've been significant in my life have been Pisces. It's kind of fun.
And this. Next question. Okay, before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of acting? What do you like the most about it?
Um, Truthfully, I think what I like about it is it gives me an opportunity to analyze myself. I tend to put myself into my characters, and I play characters well that are similar to me or have similar traits. So if I record myself playing that character, it's nice to see that facet of my own personality coming out. I like to see how I may come across to others. And
Mhm.
again, this sounds very vain, but it's an analysis on my own personality that I look for. So what I enjoy about acting is when I can find a character that embodies a lot of my emotions or thoughts, and I get to perform that role, and it's a slightly bigger version of myself. That's always interesting to watch. Um, but also, ever since I was a kid, acting has been a function for me where I can express myself. I'm not that into sports particularly, or debating, or I was never academically that clever, but acting is something I proved good at and shone through, and people said and gave me accolades for. So it gave me a feeling of, yeah, okay, I'm good at something. I don't have to be strong academically to succeed. I can do something I enjoy doing.
and having those blue eyes, do you think people, they spotted straight away? They go like, wow, that's something.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to get a lot of people remarking my eyes. Are they particularly blue now? I thought
I can,
they are.
I can see it spot straight away. I'm like, wow, got blue eyes.
Oh well, I guess that they. When I was younger, they were a good. They were a good thing to have. A lot
Icebreaker,
of people,
like an
yeah,
icebreaker, yeah.
yeah. A lot of people would say that. But also, what's interesting is, and I don't know if this has got any basis in science, but ever since I was young, they seem to change their color. Like they go from light blue to dark blue. When
Right.
when I'm angry or upset, they go dark blue, and when I'm happy or in a jovial mood, they go bright light blue. So
Interesting.
I guess that's what I am now.
Amazing. Okay, next question now. Tough question. If you had only 24 hours of life, what would you do?
I think now I've debated this before, and a lot of people, it's one of those questions, particularly in the 80s, 90s, it sprang up. Question people would ask at parties, I think. And I always used to think, oh, I would get absolutely hammered or do loads of drugs and just go crazy. But no, what I would do, the first thing I was doing, I'd gather as many family and friends that I could find and just say, I just want to spend some time with you. And I wouldn't tell them why. I would just spend that time with them and then go as gracefully as possible after that. And just spend the time with them, talking, listening to them. I think that's the way I would want to go, hearing their words and stories, and that would be the last thing I hear.
And what's the meaning of life for you when you think about life?
The meaning of life to me, I think if you can make the world just that little bit better for after you've gone. So even if it's small things or big things, if you have the power to do that, if you can just advance the world a little bit more and leave it a better place than when you were born into it, that's the meaning of life. And if we all did that, the world can't help but become a much better place.
Tell me a life lesson that life has taught you that you feel very grateful for it. You feel like, you know what, I'm grateful for life, for this lesson.
Okay, I'm gonna bring in a quote for this, if that's all right.
Of course.
So there's a wonderful James Stewart film called Harvey. And Harvey is a film where Jimmy Stewart plays a man called Elwood P. Dowd. And he has an invisible friend who is a 6-foot rabbit.
Wow.
And he calls the rabbit Harvey. And now Harvey is a puka, and that's a spirit that befriends people. And they can be a mischievous creature, but they take the form of an animal that only that person can see. So it becomes his friend. But there's this great quote from the film, which is Elwood, the main character, says, years ago, my mother used to say to me, she'd say, in this world, Elwood, you must be oh so smart or oh so pleasant.
Right.
And then he says, well, for years, I was smart. I recommend being pleasant. And you can quote me.
Wow.
And what I took away from that is for years and years, I tried to be smart and I tried to show off. I tried to be all these things people wanted you to be or what I expected people wanted to be. And then in the last 10 years or so, I've just tried to be who I really am and just pleasant and a decent person. Wow. And I'm much happier for it.
Wow. It's great for us to get, I'm sure at the time you felt so free in your shoulders, you felt like light, you felt, oh my God, I don't need to carry that on my shoulders anymore. I think when you know that the only way to go is just being yourself, that's amazing.
Absolutely. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Totally. And I think it takes time. Sometimes some people, spot it earlier, some people takes time, but when you feel it, you're like, oh my God, that feels great. Just to know that it's the only way to go. There's no other way. You know what I mean? So it's amazing. Great. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Mark, before the next question, let's do a little game. So let's pretend that you have in your hands the biggest budgets in the world, and you're gonna put together a musical, a play, a short movie. It could be anything. You're gonna be on it as well, and you can cast anyone in the world to play your mom on these projects, also to play your dad on these projects. A romantic lover, a romantic partner, and also a big boss, someone, a director or a producer to help you to put all together. So tell me those names.
Oh, wow. Okay. I would ask Cher to play my mum.
Beautiful.
I want Robert De Niro to play my dad.
Wow.
What was the other one?
Love interest.
Love interest Zoe Deschanel.
Okay.
And then for someone to direct it.
Yeah, director or producer, anyone to help you to put all together.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many I could choose from, but I would have to, because Robert De Niro is playing my dad, I'd have to go with Martin Scorsese. So they worked well together, and they could drip their advice and wisdom onto me.
Wow. Okay, so now the question is going to be a bit tougher now. One day, you're going to wake up in the morning having 4 missed calls on your phone from those 4 names you just mentioned right now.
Yeah.
Which one you're going to call back straight away? Which one you're going to send a message, I'll call you back later, and the other 2, we just ignore them for now. You don't call back, don't send a message. Wow.
I'd have to phone Zoe Deschanel back first, because she's my love interest. And then I would text Robert De Niro. What's up?
I can't believe you just ignored Cher now.
I know, I ignored Cher. They're probably... Well, they're more than equally important, but the thing is, I'm a romantic at heart, and I can't ignore Zoe Deschanel phoning me. And Robert De Niro, I've admired all my life, so he gets the text for sure. And Martin Scorsese and Cher, they're big enough and rich enough to understand that. They don't need me.
I think you're very clever, because if Scorsese get upset, Robert De Niro can do his job as well, so that's fine.
Yeah, oh look, he's a nice guy. He texted me. Come on.
Love it. Next question is, what does success mean to you?
Not having to hide from the bills. No, success means to me, it's not about followers or fans or people stopping you in the street. It's about feeling that you've done a job well done. And for once in your life, you're proud of yourself at the end of the day that you've worked hard. Because I spent so many days going to bed thinking, I've done nothing today.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe that happiness is a choice?
Yeah, although with a caveat. Happiness is a choice, and a positive mental attitude can make you happy. And I've been doing that a lot lately, and reaffirming to myself what positive thoughts I can think and what I can bring forth from that. But I do also think that some lucky people have happiness thrust upon them. They have all the things going for them. Does it always bring happiness? No. Having all of maybe wealth and great friends and family around them doesn't always bring happiness, but it helps.
And do you believe that money can bring happiness?
No, but again, it can help. And it depends on the individual. Some people are miserable and rich, but if you take money out of the equation, then at least you haven't got poverty or starving or being homeless. So it's a matter of removing the problems, and money can remove a lot of them. So chances are you should be happier.
Okay.
It's just math.
2 questions left. Let's do it.
Cool.
You like dancing, Mark?
I'm not very good at it, but I do like it, yeah.
Amazing. Okay, next question is, when was the last time that you laughed so hard that you couldn't stop laughing? What was the reason?
I have laughed a lot. And I've laughed recently. Yeah, I think this is going to be, you won't know of this program, but it's a hilarious TV series. It's a BBC TV series called This Country. And there's 2 characters, and it's done like a mockumentary, and there's 2 characters in it who play cousins, and it's a girl and a boy, and they live in a very small village in the Cotswolds, and it's their day-to-day life, and scene after scene after scene just had me in hysterics. The humor is dry and funny, and the only thing it's similar to is The Office. You know The Office? Ricky
Yes,
Gervais?
I heard. Yeah.
Similar kind of humor to that, and it really had me in stitches, and I just thought it was hilarious. And also the TV series The Boys. The Boys on Amazon Prime, it has me giggling all the time. Real life situations, I don't get out enough anymore to have these hilarious situations, but I think the last time I really laughed out loud in the real world was when I was watching Avenue Q at the theatre.
Right. Do you cry easily, Mark?
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Right.
quite a sensitive soul,
Mhm.
and I will cry if I see any form of animal cruelty, whether it be online, whether I hear about it. I will just cry, and I'll become so upset that I can't contain it. And I think it's my probably one of those subjects that I just obviously wish didn't exist, and it affects me more than anything else.
It breaks my heart as well. I follow some people on Instagram that they love animals. But
Yeah,
sometimes and I get there, and they share a lot of, things happening to create awareness to animals and actually to
yeah,
help.
that can make me cry just seeing
I love the job they do, but sometimes I'm so scared
to
to
push
type
that button.
in their stories because I know I'm gonna see some
Yeah.
cruelty of animals.
I'm the
And
same. I'm a coward, and in some ways,
yes,
I'd rather not know. But
totally. And the thing is, I get their point, and I'm so glad they are doing that because they are helping animals. They are helping. But when I click on it, I'm scared that I'm going to see something that's going to be
absolutely,
in my mind for some time. And I get your
yeah.
point. I think it's this cruelty. It can get me straight away as well,
Oh
for sure,
yeah, undeniable. It's the one thing that will just reduce me to tears in
for
seconds.
sure. Last question. Let's do it. Right, before the last question, the beginning of the interview, we were talking about karma, about spirituality. So tell me, what is being spiritual for you?
What is being spiritual? Um, I've been reading some books lately by Dale Carnegie, who he's very much he's a writer. It's from the 1950s, and he did self-help books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, or How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And it really is just about accepting who you are and working on your strengths. But also there are things in the big book as well, Alcoholics Anonymous, big book, which basically says to you in your life, you need to stop asserting that you are in charge of everything and that you are the be all and end all of everything, that you've got to give it over to a higher power. You've got to just trust that there's something else there that's making the world go round. It's not all on you, it's not on your shoulders. And once you can give up that and trust in hopefully there being some higher purpose or some alternative to just you being a cog in a machine, if you can let that off your shoulders and just trust in that, whether or not it's true, who knows what goes on in this world, but just allowing yourself the freedom to go, what if there is, I'm just going to leave it up to that. Sometimes allowing that burden to go spiritually can make massive improvements on your life. And it's really neither here nor there if there's any truth to it, to be honest.
I get it. Last question for you is, which question you don't have an answer for?
There are several. One of which I think of at the moment is the importance of university and higher education. Is this the right thing to do for every child? Is this the right thing to do for every student? And I used to say, yes, absolutely. Keep going until you stop. Keep going. But since then, I've reflected on my own career in education, and I've realized that actually it's not always right for the people. Sometimes if you feel that you want to go off and do this and just train vocationally in a career,
Yeah.
Screw college, screw university, and screw the debt that you'll end up in. So yeah, if you feel strong-minded enough not to go to university and check out a career in a different direction, you should maybe go for that. But I cannot answer it because it's such an individual thing.
I love your answer. Mark. It makes all sense. It's very individual, but at the same time as well, it's something that, it's something that, of course, is for the good. When you think about university, you just want people to be professionally happy or find their career. But sometimes as well, sometimes there's maybe something that's not there for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but if you like, am I giving the right advice or am I going the right direction? It's tricky. I get your point for sure. Wow.
Absolutely. I mean, you might fight if someone wants to perhaps be a farmer, and that's what they want to do. And if you're a parent and you're saying, no, maybe you should try, be a lawyer, go through that. Why? They might be much happier with a simpler life.
Absolutely. Right, on the end yet, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Oh, God.
Let's start with family. One
Love.
word. Money.
Success.
Fear.
Dark.
Life.
Oh, I was immediately going to say happiness. I'm not sure why, but happiness.
Okay. Love.
Trust.
Religion.
Christianity. It just came into my head.
Okay. Sex.
I'm really struggling. I'm getting love, but we've already covered love. So sex is love, I suppose.
Not right or wrong. What comes to your mind? Politics.
Green Party.
Okay. Friendship.
I've got nothing.
Okay. Desire.
Desire. Need.
Regret.
Relationships.
Success.
Acting.
Wish.
Film. That just came. I guess that means I want to do a film.
Happiness.
Home. This house.
Wow. Sweet. One word for Cambridge.
Educational.
One word for England.
Safe.
And the last one now, one word for acting.
Precarious.
Wow. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet Michelle, your partner, for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, define Mark in one positive and one negative word only. What she would say about you?
The negative would be arrogant. I'm sure it would. And the positive would be trustworthy.
Amazing. She knows you very well, for sure.
I hope so.
Let's play now, Mark, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Right, I got some moves in the end. All right, Mark, can ask me a question now.
Ask you a question.
Yes.
Okay. There's a couple I'd like to ask you. I'm going to start with one. The main one I want to know is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Great question. Great question. Two things come to my mind. Two things that come to my mind when I think about superpower. The first one is, if I could go around the globe and touching close-mind people's heads and to make their heads open up, I think that would be amazing to see.
That'd be good.
Oh, that would be good to see people, just understanding, We have taboos, we have, you and me, we have things that for different reasons we're being raised and something that we cannot understand. However, if you respect, if you don't attack, if you just live on the side, if you think it's not for you or you don't understand, it's fine. There's things that you don't understand and it's fine. There's not wrong with that. However, if you respect, if you let people be, it's great. So if I could go around just touching their heads and just open their minds, that would be amazing.
Open-minded, yeah.
For sure. And then the other part of the answer is, if I could travel to any country and be able to speak their language fluently, if I could speak every single language in the world, that would be, imagine.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, that would be amazing for you to be able to understand everything what they're saying and just integrate yourself to the language.
You'd also need the superpower of lots of money, so you could travel to the other countries. Otherwise, you're just sat at home with this amazing superpower and no money to travel.
I already have money now, so I'll be fine. I'm joking.
Okay, but I have another question for you.
Okay.
Seeing as you asked them all day, what's the best piece of advice you've ever had and acted on?
Great question, actually, great question. You know what? Very young age, I was very lucky that my mom, as she told me that, she said, look, don't do to others what you don't want people to do to you, you know. Just, you know, let people, what I just said about superpower, you know, respect people, see that, you know, the way they are and everything. And I've been working on it since then. You know, I had situations in my life that, for example, I saw things, or I have a present things that I was like maybe afraid, not afraid, but I was a bit intimidated. I could understand. And actually, I just somehow, you know, I try to put myself in their shoes, or I try to understand, I try to do a research, or I try to ask questions to them about that, about things that for me was maybe a stigma, something that was unclear. And when my mom told me that, at the time I didn't understand much. For me, it was just like, okay, be friends with people, be friend, or that's what I understood at the time. But when I look back, I think that's what she was trying to tell me. And, you know, somehow I always been very curious, Mark, always been very curious, to the point that my grandmother, she was a nurse, a midwife, and in her house, she had like a room where she was delivering, like helping to deliver babies. And not just that, I called that room as a hospital. I was so scared of her because I was going there, and it was when I was a child, like not baby, I was like maybe 3 or 4 year old. And sometimes my parents left me for her to look after me for some days, and she had some job to do. And when she had a delivery, or a pregnant lady was there, she was like, look, you're gonna hear some noises, but please don't open this door. Don't do, you know what I mean? I was like, why? I was very curious. I'm like, why? She said, no, because now I'm gonna help a baby. She wasn't lying to me, but she was explaining the way that I could understand, and not to somehow interact or open the door or do something. She was like, okay, just you're gonna hear some crying, something happening, but don't be scared. Just be on the side, keep playing or doing something, and after I'll explain to you. I'll show the baby and explain to you. And I was so curious. I was so curious, intrigued by that. So yeah, so I always been very curious about different things, and I think that I go back to my mom's you know, talk advice at the
Yeah.
time. She mentioned a few times that to me, and I was like, okay, of course, of course. And at the time, I just thought that, oh, I need to be friendly to people, I need to understand people, but no, she was just trying to tell me that it's just respect, just, you know,
And
understand
some
people.
reserve is needed.
Absolutely. And I'm so thankful for that, because nowadays I consider myself as a very open-minded person. I have
Yeah.
stigma, I have my taboos like everyone else. However, I try to be understanding. I try to be to put myself in their shoes. So yeah, that's how I could tell so many others, because you know, you learn a lot through life, and acting on it. I watch myself every single day, for me, to make sure that I'm not somehow judging, or I'm not you know, somehow doing something that may be you know, unconscious, that maybe is going to make someone uncomfortable, or maybe it's going to make someone that they cannot be themselves close to me. So I always watch myself in that. So it's like a daily thing that I think we should watch ourselves always. And London is a good place for that, because every day you see different things. You watch beautiful people exploring, you know, expressing themselves through light, through colors, through sexuality, through art, through everything. And for me to see that is like, wow, you know what I mean? I'm open my mind every single day when I'm exposed to that. So I'm very grateful for this lesson. My mom tried to, or, you know, taught me at a very young age, because I literally act on it every single day, for sure.
Right. Absolutely.
Did you enjoy the interview?
I did very much. Is that it? Are we done?
Thanks again, Mark. Thanks for taking the time for the interview. Thanks for being so
Right.
kind. And
Lots of fun.
before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
A message that I live by.
Yeah, a positive message or anything.
Yeah, I'm going to steal this from Hamilton, the musical, and it's where Aaron Burr. Sorry,
Okay.
I just dropped a picture. It's where Aaron Burr is talking to Alexander Hamilton, and he says to him quite simply, "Talk less, smile more."
Wow, great one.
And of course, that's strategic, and it's about a reserved diplomatic approach to communication rather
Mhm.
than reacting impulsively or oversharing. But I just think in its simplistic form, just talk less, smile more. And it goes
Yeah,
back to what I was saying about Jimmy Stewart. He tried being
totally.
smart for many years, and he recommends just, you know, just be pleasant.
Amazing. Very good. Okay. Thanks again. Regards to Michelle, to your family and friends, and keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay.
Thank you, William.
Enjoy
Lovely.
the sun. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.